Hey, podcast listeners. Tired of ads barging into your favorite news podcasts? Good news. With Amazon Music, you have access to the largest catalog of ad-free top podcasts included with your Prime membership. Stay up to date on everything newsworthy by downloading the Amazon Music app for free or go to amazon.com/ad-free news. That's amazon.com/ad-free news to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
The mighty and resilient Merrimack River, carving through the communities of our great region. My name is Linda Lorden, proud president of Merrimack County Savings Bank. And like the river that serves as our namesake, we're a constant yet ever-changing presence. Because to us, it's bigger than banking. It's about powering communities and putting people first. It's about knowing where you came from and where you're going. That's Merrimack style. Visit us at themerrimack.com.
Welcome to 5-Minute History from 5minutehistory.com, where we take a historical look at things in about 5 minutes. Episode 53. The History of Radio. The history of radio is a fascinating journey through discovery, invention, and innovation. It spans more than a century, evolving from a theoretical idea in the minds of scientists to a transformative medium that has changed the way people communicate, share information, and experience culture. From the earliest experiments with electromagnetic waves to the global communications networks of today, radio has played a critical role in shaping modern society. The origins of radio lie in the work of Scottish physicist James Clerk Maxwell, who, in the 1860s, first proposed the theory of electromagnetic waves. Maxwell's equations described how electric and magnetic fields travel through space and hinted at the possibility that these waves could be used to transmit information. His work laid the foundation for future scientists, though the practical application of these theories would not emerge until several decades later. In the 1880s, the German physicist Heinrich Hertz proved Maxwell's theories by generating and detecting electromagnetic waves in the laboratory. Hertz's experiments confirmed the existence of these waves, which later became known as radio waves. However, Hertz did not foresee any practical use for his discovery, and it was left to others to build on his work. The idea of wireless communication began to take shape as inventors and scientists explored ways to harness these waves for long-distance transmission. One of the key figures in the early history of radio was the Italian inventor Guglielmo Marconi. In 1895, Marconi conducted successful experiments in wireless telegraphy, using radio waves to transmit messages over short distances without the need for wires. His work attracted significant attention, and by 1899, Marconi had transmitted the first wireless signal across the English Channel. In 1901, he achieved a groundbreaking feat by sending the first transatlantic radio signal from Cornwall, England to Newfoundland, Canada. Marconi's inventions revolutionized communication, particularly for maritime purposes, where radio offered a way to maintain contact with ships at sea. His pioneering work earned him the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1909 and solidified his place as one of the fathers of radio. While Marconi focused on the practical applications of radio waves, other inventors were exploring how to transmit sound through the air. The development of amplitude modulation, AM, in the early 20th century allowed for the transmission of voice and music over radio waves rather than just Morse code. Canadian inventor Reginald Fessenden is credited with making the first radio broadcast of voice and music on Christmas Eve 1906, a significant step in the evolution of radio as a medium for mass communication. Fessenden's work, along with the contributions of other engineers such as Lee DeForest, helped pave the way for the development of commercial radio broadcasting. The first commercial radio stations began broadcasting in the early 1920s. In the United States, KDKA in Pittsburgh is often considered the world's first commercial radio station, launching its first broadcast in 1920 with live coverage of the US presidential election. In Britain, the BBC, British Broadcasting Corporation, was established in 1922 and quickly became a leader in public broadcasting. Radio stations proliferated throughout the 1920s and 1930s, bringing news, entertainment, and music into homes across the world. For the first time, people could listen to live events and broadcasts from faraway places, revolutionizing the way information was disseminated. The rise of radio as a mass medium transformed entertainment and culture. Radio dramas, comedies, and variety shows became incredibly popular, and stations often featured live performances by musicians, actors, and comedians. One of the most famous radio broadcasts of this era was Orson Welles' War of the Worlds, aired in the United States in 1938. Presented as a series of news bulletins about an alien invasion, the broadcast caused widespread panic among listeners who believed it to be real, demonstrating the powerful influence of radio. Radio also played a vital role in news and political communication. In the 1930s and 1940s, leaders such as Franklin D. Roosevelt and Winston Churchill used radio to speak directly to their nations, particularly during times of crisis. Roosevelt's fireside chats and Churchill's wartime speeches are prime examples of how radio connected political leaders with the public in a way that had never been possible before. Radio's immediacy and ability to reach vast audiences made it an essential tool for both governments and journalists. During World War II, radio became a crucial medium for propaganda and military communication. Radio broadcasts provided news updates from the front lines, boosting morale and informing citizens of developments in the war. Governments, including Nazi Germany and Britain, used radio to broadcast propaganda to both domestic and international audiences, highlighting radio's significance as a tool for shaping public opinion. After the war, radio faced a new competitor in television, which emerged as the dominant medium for entertainment and news in the 1950s and 1960s. However, radio did not fade into obscurity. Instead, it adapted to the changing media landscape. The rise of FM radio in the 1960s allowed for higher quality sound transmission, which was particularly well suited for music. As a result, radio became a key platform for the music industry, and genres like rock, jazz, and pop flourished on the airwaves. Radio also found new life through the development of talk radio in the 1980s and 1990s. Programs featuring political commentary, interviews, and call-in shows became popular, particularly in the United States. The format allowed for direct interaction between hosts and listeners, creating a more engaged and participatory audience. Talk radio proved especially influential in political discourse, with figures like Rush Limbaugh in the United States shaping public opinion through their broadcasts. In the 21st century, the advent of the internet and digital technology has transformed radio once again. Traditional radio stations now broadcast online, making it possible for listeners to tune in from anywhere in the world. Podcasts, which emerged in the mid-2000s, have further revolutionized the medium, allowing anyone with a microphone and internet access to create their own radio-style programs. Podcasting has opened up new avenues for storytelling, journalism, and entertainment, broadening the scope of what radio can be. Despite the rise of digital platforms, traditional radio remains a vital part of daily life for millions of people. Whether through music, news, talk shows, or podcasts, radio continues to inform, entertain, and connect people across the globe. The history of radio is a testament to the enduring power of sound as a means of communication and storytelling, and its ability to adapt to new technologies ensures that it will remain a key part of media for years to come. I hope you enjoyed that episode of the 5-Minute History Podcast from 5minutehistory.com. If you get a chance, please leave a review wherever you get your podcasts, as it will help us to grow. Also, why not check out our other 5-minute podcasts? 5-minute Biographies, 5-minute Murder, 5-minute Mysteries, and 5-minute Warfare. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next week.
Okay, it's official. We are very much in the final sprint to Election Day. And face it, between debates, polling releases, even court appearances, it can feel exhausting, even impossible to keep up with. I'm Brad Milkey. I'm the host of Start Here, the daily podcast from ABC News. And every morning, my team and I get you caught up on the day's news in a quick, straightforward way that's easy to understand, with just enough context so you can listen, get it, and go on with your day. So, kickstart your morning. Start smart with Start Here and ABC News, because staying informed shouldn't feel overwhelming.